merciful, O merciful, O merciful, O merciful, O merciful.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah. Amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In life, we do many preparations and plans, thinking that we will do this and we'll do that. We'll make this plans and maybe we can guarantee that this result will come out. But in life, nothing is guaranteed except one thing. And that one thing is death. And death is not something that only happens to the old. It can happen to at any age, at any moment, to any person, no matter how rich, how poor, how wealthy, how powerful you think you are. Every single person on this world will pass away and return to his Lord. What is the first thing we say when we hear about someone's death? Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. That to him we belong and to him we return. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put us on this earth to worship Him. And He allowed us, yes, to socialize and meet people and have fun. But our main focus in this world is the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this world and this life is temporary. And what we want is the success in the afterlife, for eternal happiness, eternal joy. And death is the gate that will take us between this world and the next world. And this last year, because of the pandemic and so many other things, many of us have lost someone we love, or know of someone who had lost someone they have loved. Maybe you didn't even love that person, maybe they were an acquaintance or whatever, but everyone has lost someone. And when we lose someone, our emotions start going all over the place. We feel sadness, we feel anger, we feel despair. We don't know what to do. And death is not easy on anyone. The Prophet ﷺ, when he lost his son, he was crying. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, the Sahaba asked him, why are you crying? Right? Aren't we commanded that, don't be sad? And the Prophet ﷺ said, yes, the heart understands, the brain, we understand this, but the heart still feels sadness. We still feel sad. And sadness is an emotion that a person feels. There's nothing wrong with feeling sad, feeling grief about losing a loved one. And inshallah, all we are trying to do today is try to give you tips on how to utilize that grief. First of all, making sure that that grief does not lead to something that it should not, and how to move on, and how to honor that person who has passed away. When a person passes away, the very first thing we have to do is have sabr, patience. Many times, we've seen this so many times when a loved one passes away, and especially when it's all of a sudden, unexpected, people can't deal with it. They start crying, they start wailing, they start saying things that they should not be saying. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was passing the graveyard with some of the Sahaba, and there was a woman crying because she had just finished burying her son. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told her not to wail or cry so loudly. And this woman, because of her sadness and grief, she spoke rudely. It's like, how do you know what I'm going through, right? You don't know anything. And then later on, she was told that the person she said that to was the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Again, because of her grief, she did not recognize him. And after she ran to the Prophet, he said, she went to apologize. And the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't get angry at her. He didn't say anything. He said, it's okay. And just understand that this cry and all this, it's not as important. That inshallah, just have sabr, have patience. So when we see someone going through a loss, or when we're going through a loss, we should have patience and place our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a hadith by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that says, when a person passes away, their avenues of good deeds are closed except for 3 ways. What is the first? Any knowledge they have left behind that people benefit from. When we pass away, when people die, what do we remember most about them? In America, we have this thing, when someone dies, they have this celebration of life, right? Where they get together and they talk about the good things about the person. Oh, used to do this, he used to help me with this. We're gonna miss him, this and that. Again, when you lose someone, especially someone close to you, what do you remember about that person? Maybe that person always used to have a smile, always treated everyone nicely, never mistreated anyone, always used to pray salah in the masjid, always used to read Quran, always give to the poor. Whatever it was, please remember what you admired about them, what you looked up to them, and carry on that legacy. Continue to do what they used to do. Right? If, let's say, example, they used to donate to the poor, just because they're gone doesn't mean those poor people they shouldn't receive any help. Better to step up and encourage others to help with the poor. And don't go through it alone. This is another thing, that when you're going through a grief or going through a loss, don't seclude, isolate yourself into a room and keep everyone away. Yes, take some time, maybe a little bit for yourself, for your grief. But you don't want to stay isolated, because when you stay isolated, your thoughts start going all over the place. And you might say something, and you might do something that you might regret later. So try to keep around people close to you, right? If you have family members who you haven't reached out to, right? If you lose one family member, reach out to the family members that you didn't keep in touch. Try to build that connection. Don't go through that sadness, that grief by yourself. The second thing that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that will benefit a person that has passed away is what? A continuous charity in their cause. Many times, alhamdulillah, we donate, right? Maybe we give food or we give a one-time donation, right? And continue to do so, right? And try to donate causes that will, even after 10, it's not just that one-time thing, that after so many years people will still be able to take from the fruit of the benefit, right? Donate to the masjid, build a well, build a school, something that people can continuously take benefit, because even if it's $1, right? If you put in towards a masjid, every single person who prays there and learns something from there, right, you will get a reward from it. And again, as alhamdulillah, when someone passes away, we have the opportunity to gift some of our deeds to that person who has passed away. Alhamdulillah, we have given us an opportunity. Many times we see people, they build a well, they build a school or a masjid, and they build it in the legacy of someone who has passed away. Alhamdulillah, Islam has given us this permission, and we can do this. We can gift our good deeds away. We cannot give away the fara'id, of course, but we can give away the sunnah and the extra, nawafil and whatever. We can give all these things. So honor that person by not only just giving money, but giving your good deeds. Alhamdulillah, we even have the opportunity to gift a hajj. If that person who passed away did not have the opportunity to do the hajj, we have the opportunity to do a hajj and give it to them. Obviously we have to do our own first, but yes, we can even gift a hajj or umrah. And not even to that level. Maybe you can read some Quran and say that all the reward I get for the Quran, I gift it to this person. All this money I'm giving is for this person. And finally, the last thing from the hadith was what? Dua. The last thing that benefits a person is a righteous child praying for them after their death. Many times when we lose someone, we remember them that first couple of months, right? We all get together, the family gets together, we do our gatherings and everything. But after a while, we just go back to our routines and we forget about those people. Yes, move on. Live your life. But don't forget those who had left behind. Don't forget those who left an impact on you. Like I said, if they left a legacy behind, follow that legacy. Make dua for them in every prayer, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may you reward those who have passed away. May you grant them the highest levels of Jannah. May you forgive all their sins. May you unite us with them, inshaAllah. So my brothers and sisters, if you are going through a loss, or if you know of someone through a loss, and even if you don't, inshallah, all of us will go through a loss, right? Remember these things. Remember the honor, the legacy that person left you behind. If they did something bad to you, forgive them. If they taught you something good, remember that. Teach that to others. Implement that. If they did anything that you found admirable, try to achieve that. My brothers and sisters, this life is short. Take full advantage of this life. Cherish those around you, those who are with you, because you're not guaranteed, either you're not guaranteed or they're not guaranteed to be here tomorrow. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us, forgive all of those who have passed away, and may He reunite all of us in the highest levels of Jannah on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Merciful, O merciful, O merciful, O merciful.